Hey everybody, my name is Brandon. Welcome back to Cinefessions, where we talk all things media. So recently here in my city, there was a citywide garage sale. This was just a couple of weeks back now, and while we didn't get to hit too many different houses, we did hit one that was remarkable for me as a physical media collector, specifically when it comes to my VHS collection. So today I want to share half of that pile with you guys, and then sometime next week or in the near future here, you will see the second half, which is arguably even better. There are some really cool titles in here. Some of these are worth quite a bit of money. Now, I don't know if it's mostly this stack or the other stack, but regardless, these are worth quite a bit, which is really cool to see. Now, I'm keeping them in my collection at this point, but it's always good to know for the future because I am always binging and purging, essentially. I'm always buying and I'm always selling. That's just the way I do my collection. But anyway, today we have 7 VHS titles to get through, all sci-fi and horror movies. So my favorite genres to collect. With that said, guys, let's not waste any more time at all. Let's dive right into my garage sale VHS haul. About half of the titles I'm going to share with you guys today I have seen, but the other half I haven't, and I think I just have it lined up by happenstance. The first half here are ones that I have not seen, but I had to grab this. This is Sometimes They Come Back Again. So this is one that I think actually Brian the Horror Punk found not too long ago on VHS, if I'm remembering right. So I thought that was super cool that he found it, and I really wanted to get it. Well, lo and behold, a couple weeks later, here it is. So you can see most of these are formal rentals, and they're not in the greatest condition, but the tapes, at least this one I took a chance on because you can't see much of the tape, but you can see the video rental sticker there. But from what I can tell, there is no mold on that tape. So hopefully these will work all right, but we will see when I actually sit down to play them. But I couldn't pick this one up alone because I also noticed that there was this box there. And I was like, what in the world is that? So I opened it up to see what was inside, and it is the original Sometimes They Come Back. So this one, honestly, I might end up just getting rid of. I might donate it to the thrift store, because I realized after I bought it that I do already have this one on DVD, and because it doesn't have the original case, it's not really that cool to put this box on my shelf. Now, if I was a former patron of Video Event, maybe that would be really cool in South Lyon, Michigan, but I am not. I've never even heard of it before. But clearly, I think for the majority of these, that's where the guy bought these from. But anyway, I wanted to pick it up because it was only 50 cents. I didn't even mention that. Every single title I'm showing today, I spent 50 cents each on. Really good deal, and so I was very happy to add this. But like I said, I might end up giving this one to the thrift store just because it doesn't have the original artwork anyway, and so it's just a little less fun in that sense. But either way, I do have it right now. So this is Sometimes They Come Back in the old Video Event case, plus the sequel, Sometimes They Come Back Again. And as I was looking up these, I realized that there's a third movie in this franchise that I didn't even know existed. So I really want to grab that one at some point. Hopefully I can find that one on DVD as well. This one I believe is a little trickier to find on DVD. I think it's a little bit more expensive because it's just out of print. Most DVDs are at this point, I guess. But yeah, so I'll probably hold on to this one, and this will be the way I watch this one. But anyway, we have Sometimes They Come Back and Sometimes They Come Back Again. A couple of sci-fi flicks up next, and first one here we have Total Recall. So I've actually not seen this movie, and I was just talking to my wife. We were watching an episode of Bob's Burgers where they were parodying Blade Runner, and at that point I was like, you know what? I've seen Blade Runner once. I need to watch that one again, but I really want to watch Total Recall. I don't know why, but Total Recall instantly came to my mind because I really need to see this movie. I do own this one on 4K, I believe, but yeah, I definitely need to watch it. So you can see there is an old sticker here, which is a little disappointing, but again, the tape itself, for what I can see, looks to be in pretty good shape. Now, this one, you can see from that shot there, it looks like there might be mold, but that's just on the physical glass itself. The tape doesn't look to have any mold. So yeah, I was happy to add this one to the collection. Whenever I can find cheap sci-fi or horror VHS tapes, they always get added. So the Arnold Schwarzenegger film, Total Recall. This was such a cool find. I just wish it wasn't a former rental because, man, this thing is so cool otherwise. But this is Johnny Mnemonic with Keanu Reeves. So the case itself is really cool. It is not a cardboard case. It's a plastic case, which is awesome. There is the back of that. The coolest part, though, is look at that bright orange tape. That is super cool. Unfortunately, it does have the old rental sticker on it, which is disappointing. So if you had it normally, so you can see the rental sticker right there, which is the most disappointing aspect of it. Now, I probably could get it off if I really tried with some Goo Gone and all that jazz, you know, like a plastic razor blade and all that. But I just don't know if it's worth all the effort, but I will see. Anyway, yeah, this is another one I've not checked out yet, but I'm really looking forward to watching it. I don't own it in any other format. So this will be the way I watch this one when I get around to it. I didn't even realize Dolph Lundgren was in this as well. Wow, what a cast. Keanu Reeves, Dolph Lundgren. This is awesome. Ice-T is in this as well. Anyway, this looks fantastic. So I'm really looking forward to checking out Johnny Mnemonic. The last three in today's video are ones that I am familiar with. So first up here is House on Haunted Hill, of course, the 1999 remake. Now, this is not an all-time favorite or anything like that, but I've always enjoyed this movie when I've watched it over the years. I actually just picked this one up on Blu-ray from Scream Factory back in like January or February, whenever that sale was going on that they had on Amazon. They had a bunch of discount Scream Factory titles. So I picked it up then, and yeah, happy to have that on Blu-ray, but very happy to have it on VHS as well, just because this is such a fun way to watch this one. This was actually part of a stack he had behind, I want to say behind the counter. It was just on his table where he was checking people out. And I was not going to say anything, but then I was like, hey, is that stack for sale as well? And he begrudgingly departed with it. Now, I don't mean I didn't like coerce him out of it or anything like that. He just was like, well, yeah, I guess I can get rid of these. And so I think these might have been ones he was wanting to keep initially, but then changed his mind once he found out somebody else was interested. So I was happy to have it, but there are a couple more that you'll see in the next part of this video, or in the next video on this garage sale find, that were even more fantastic finds. But yeah, either way, House on Haunted Hill is now in my VHS collection. So quite a number of the VHS tapes I found at the garage sale are in this style of case. And so I'm not exactly sure if that just is a old rental case or what. But anyway, this is The Car with James Brolin. So I don't know if you can see the type of case here. Maybe you would consider this a clamshell, even though it's not what I would typically look at as a clamshell. When I think clamshell, I think of like the Disney VHS clamshells, for example, which this is not, but I think it's interesting looking nonetheless. But I don't remember if, you know, was this sold like this at, you know, Walmart or Target or whatever, you know, in stores, or was this just for rental stores? I really don't know. Now, of course, I am old enough to have rented VHS tapes from Blockbuster back in the day, but it's been so long and my memory is so bad, I just don't remember. But if you guys know, let me know down in the comments below, because I'm curious what this style case is called and maybe why it is in this type of case. But either way, this is a decent movie. This is actually the first Blu-ray that I bought that was Region B. Man, I bought that probably 10 years ago now, and I enjoyed it for what it was. It's basically Jaws on land with a car. That's kind of what you're dealing with here, which isn't the most original explanation of this. I've heard that said multiple times, but it is an appropriate explanation of what this movie is. So yeah, happy to have this on VHS, and yeah, you know, one that I'd recommend if you haven't seen it, but not one that you necessarily need to run out and track down, at least in my opinion. But let me know if you like this one a little bit better. This is The Car. And then wrapping up today's VHS haul, I'd found Night of the Living Dead, the collector's edition. And that's interesting too. This one is not, but this one here is actually in widescreen, which I didn't even mention. So I thought that was pretty interesting and unique. Now, this one here, it talks about oh yeah, this is the one. Digitally mastered with an all-new musical score. So I actually picked up this edition of the movie on DVD not that long ago, I guess. I actually have that in a pile of double dips to share with you guys eventually. And there was a whole new score presented for this movie, and I guess it had something to do with just the rights of the score initially. So in order to re-release it, they changed the music. I've heard it's not good, but I'm still interested to check it out and see how it sounds. And so it's just really cool that this has that. But anyway, yeah, this is Night of the Living Dead. Obviously, a classic of horror, one of my favorites. I do own, actually I never upgraded to 4K from Criterion, but I do own it on Blu-ray from Criterion. But yeah, I just love this movie, so very happy to finally have it on VHS. So we have the digitally remastered, no, I'm sorry, the all-new musical score version, I guess I'll call it, of Night of the Living Dead. All right, so that is today's stack, and I've saved the best for part 2 of this video, which you'll see in the coming days here, but still, I think this is a pretty awesome stack of movies, especially considering that I spent 50 cents each. That means this entire stack cost me $3.50. That's ridiculous. You can't beat that. I can't even get that price at the thrift stores anymore because they've upped their prices, but very happy to add these to my ever-growing VHS collection. And like I said, check back in a week or two for part 2, where you'll see even more. I think that one is all horror VHS tapes, so I'm really excited to share that with you in the coming weeks here. But let me know if you guys own any of these VHS tapes down in the comments below. Have you seen any of these movies? Anything that I haven't seen that you highly recommend? Give me your thoughts down in the comments. I appreciate any and all support down there. With that said, guys, I will let you go. Thank you so much for making it all the way to the end here. That support really does mean a lot to me. Before I let you go, though, I'll just encourage you all to consume some media today. Thanks again for watching, and I will catch you all next time.